the paired anterior cerebral arteries. Then we have the posterior communicating, and then we have the anterior communicating artery. Okay, so we have the circle of Willis, which consists of four blood vessels. Most of them are paired. The only one that's unpaired is the anterior cerebral. The anterior communicating artery. So we have blood vessels here. These are called the vertebral. This is called the basilar artery. I think the basilar artery is something you have to know. Basilar artery. Yeah. Then we have, I don't know if you can see here, there's this blood vessel that goes in the back. This is the posterior of your brain. So this is called the posterior cerebral. Posterior cerebral goes all the way up here. So posterior cerebral. See this? What's this?
Posterior cerebral artery.
That's one of the circle of Willis. The posterior cerebral artery is one of the circle of Willis. Circle of Willis consists of the posterior cerebral. In fact, maybe you should highlight them. The posterior cerebral, the posterior communicating artery, the anterior cerebral, and the anterior communicating. So those four make up the circle of Willis. I may ask you that question. I may ask. Well, they're indicated in the. They have a little bracket. They show you what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you, those are the four. That's it right there. So I'm showing you them on the brain. This one is good for seeing. Posterior cerebral. Now, let me take this part off so you can see. In between the posterior cerebral, and this is the anterior cerebral. In between the posterior and the anterior, you see there's this red line right here. That red line is called the posterior communicating artery. That's one of the circle of Willis too. So we have the anterior cerebral, which is one of the circle of Willis. We have the posterior cerebral artery, which is also part of the circle of Willis. Then we have the posterior communicating artery right here, which is in between the two. Right here. This red line. Posterior communicating. We're going to get to that.
Okay, we're not doing it.
Okay. So posterior communicating. Okay. Coming into here would be your carotid. And then this is called the middle cerebral. The middle cerebral is pretty easy because it's the middle of your cerebrum. I don't know. Do you have to know the internal carotid?